Very nice to see you all. Always very fresh thing Monday. It makes the week more exciting, meaningful, and of course pleasant. We are here at the Roseburg Speakers and Storyteller Club. We have many guests today, and for the benefit of those who are joining us for the first time, we are a hybrid club. We have our meetings online, most of the time online, sort of always online, and we meet every Monday, 7 a.m. Roseburg. I mean the Roseburg time or the Pacific time zone. So you can just always convert it into your time zone to know when we meet. But for convenience, it is this time, the same time. We meet every Monday at the very same time. Wherever you are, you can just save the link and the time and the day. And this is a Toastmasters platform. So a Toastmaster club, Toastmasters is meant for encouraging public speaking and develop our leadership style, sort of leadership in a way, sorry. Of course, leadership has different style, but the motto of Toastmaster is to provide a positive, encouraging platform where people can come together and learn together. And we are a club with members from more than 13 countries, if I remember correctly, the last time we have had counted. And just some during the meetings, please keep yourself muted. And when you're not speaking, but of course, when you are speaking, just unmute yourself and take up your turn. The Toastmasters is generally, the meeting is being coordinated by the Toastmaster of the day. So we have today a very dedicated Toastmaster who has been Toastmaster for several years now and still carries the same passion for Toastmaster. And I can see she's looking very exciting with the theme she have had for today. So I'm just going to open the meeting soon, very soon, just saying that today we cannot have our president with us, but nevertheless, I know we will going to have a very fun time and she will be happy watching the recording afterwards. So with this, I would really like to invite the Toastmaster of the day, Mary, who has been passionately waiting to take us through an exciting meeting. So to you, Mary. Let's welcome Mary.
Thank you, Yasmin, and welcome all our fellow Toastmasters and most especially our wonderful guests today. We have so many of them. I have to do a quick shout out to one of our brand new guests, Anne. She is attending her very first Toastmaster meeting, and it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Anne. Please share in the chat her birthday wishes. You're getting it from all over the world. I am speaking to you from right outside Washington, D.C. in the United States. So it's East Coast time here. So it's 10 a.m. You have joined us on a very exciting meeting today. As the Toastmaster today, it's my job to suggest a theme for the meeting. And last week, I suggested the theme to be variety is the spice of life. Variety is the spice of life. And my intention today is for us to work on our vocal variety when speaking. So that's why this is going to be a really fun meeting, because we're going to be using different voices when we speak today. We're going to be challenging ourselves to be different people using different types of voice. With that in mind, I'm going to change my voice. I'm going to be a proper English lady to continue on with the second part of my introduction. So, as the Toastmaster of the day, it is my responsibility to make sure that we have a meeting that flows very nicely throughout the day. And if there are breaks, it's my job to make sure we fill those gaps and lead the meeting. For the benefit of our guests, my first description is to tell you how a Toastmaster meeting will run. And any of you that have an English accent naturally, I will say I am sorry that I am using such a crazy accent to be an English native. But it's rather fun after watching Bridgerton and Call the Midwife. I am enjoying using my English accent. A Toastmaster meeting has three basic parts. No matter where you attend a Toastmaster meeting, anywhere in the world. Number one is our prepared speeches, where the person has had time to prepare and practice a 5 to 7 minute speech on any topic that meets the objective of their speeches. As a Toastmaster member, you are given objectives as you progress through the educational program with trying to work on different aspects of both speaking and leadership. So our speaker today will be having an objective that they will be speaking on, and they have some objectives that they will be trying to do while they speak. That's the first part. But prepared speeches is actually a very small portion. It's a little tip of the iceberg, as they may say in jolly old England. The second part is called table topics. And that's where we get to practice our impromptu speaking, which is being asked a question and having 1 to 2 minutes to reply to the question. It teaches skills on thinking on your feet and speaking without a lot of time to prepare before you present your answer. And the third portion, which is the golden nugget, I feel, in Toastmasters, is the feedback portion of our meeting, where the prepared speaker gets feedback on how well they have met their speech objectives. Did they meet their objectives? What are things that they have do well as a speaker? And to become a better speaker, a couple suggestions on how they can improve for future speeches. That will be our evaluator. In addition to that, there are a number of other portions of the evaluation team. And to lead that portion will be the general evaluator. For today, that is Ravi. Now, because this special meeting theme today is on vocal variety, before you have an opportunity to speak, I will ask that you allow me to interject before you begin to speak, and let me tell you what voice I want you to use when you speak. Let's try that out, shall we? Ravi will be our general evaluator. And Ravi, I would like you to speak with a Jamaican accent, man. Ravi, will you lead the general evaluation portion and introduce your evaluation team with a Jamaican accent and introduce the rest of your evaluation team? This floor is yours, Ravi. Over to you. Pop off.
I'm having a hard time controlling myself. That was, thank you, Toastmaster Mary, Toastmaster of the Day, Mary. The only thing about the Jamaican accent that I know of is just that they end most sentences, I mean, or the way they speak, it ends with the word man, right? I'm very sorry, I'll do my best. But then I think I'll see if I can just end every sentence with a man, if that helps. What do you say, man? Although I think I'm the only man on the screen that I see right now, so I should probably say Oman. So as the general evaluator, I have a team that helps me evaluate the entire meeting from start to finish. And they will now be introducing each of themselves and telling us a little more about their role and how is it that they share feedback that helps us get better? What do you say, Man? Are you all game to listen to these evaluators? The team that we have, I have the timer, the R counter, and the grammarian. And I'd first request the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Michelle, to please go ahead and tell us a little more about her role. Over to you, Man.
Michelle,
Thank you.
before you speak, Michelle, I'd like you to speak like a pirate. Do your grammarian report as a pirate.
Arr. All right, I will be a pirate. And our word of the day is diverse. Diverse is in keeping with our theme, which is variety is the spice of life. So everyone, you have to strive to use the word of the day, which I put in the chat. Otherwise, Captain Hook or some other pirate captain will get you. Back to you, Ravi.
Thank you, grammarian of the day, Michelle, Toastmaster Michelle. How I wish I had the option to speak like a pirate. I would have made everybody else walk the plank. All right. So the next role player is our timer for the day. And if I remember right, that is Toastmaster Yasmin. Over to you, Toastmaster Yasmin. Please introduce a little more about your role, man.
And Yasmin, I'd like you to use the voice of a little girl. Can you speak like a little girl?
I think this is the easiest for me. So thank you. Thank you for making me a little girl. So I'm gonna play the role of timer today. I will be timing the speeches, the prepared speeches, and the table topics and the evaluators. So just for everyone, I'm sorry, I'm coming back to a normal girl, but I'm sure I'm gonna end like a small little baby. So I have managed to find out some tools which I'm gonna using while I'm gonna alert you on the timings. So the green, please take care of this green on your screen, which basically means you are on safer side. Then you see, you have to treat this as a yellow. I know it's not proper yellow, but please treat as a yellow. Okay, I have this and I have this, which fits in more as a yellow. Maybe this one, right? I don't want to confuse you with red. So please use this as a yellow marker, meaning it's time to wind up. And when you see this is red, so that is the time where you should stop. You should stop because otherwise, if you are more than 30 seconds, you are just getting towards the zone, which you should not cross. The speech timings are different. The speech timings are 5 to 7 minutes. So at 5, I will start showing the green. At 6 minutes, I'm going to start showing the yellow. And at 7 minutes, I'm going to start showing this as a red mark where you should stop. For table topics, it's 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2, I'm going to start showing green. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'm going to start showing yellow. And 3 minutes, I'm going to start showing the red, meaning it is time to stop. This is for evaluation. The evaluation timings, sorry, I think I told the timings for the evaluation, which was supposed to be 3 minutes. Sorry for that. For table topics, it's 2 minutes. So table topics, it's like 1 minute, it's green. 1 minute, 30 seconds is yellow. And then 2 minutes is red, right? So I am just gonna be timing you all and also including your timings in the chat. And please keep your eyes on the tools, which really needs attention. So thank you, and I give it back to you, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, I'm happy being the timer. Oh, sorry, to the general evaluator in this case.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yasmin. You had me confused there for a minute, man. All right. So towards the third segment, when everybody is done speaking with their prepared speeches as well as the impromptu speeches, is when all of us will come back and give our report. And I'll also share my observations on the proceedings of this meeting today towards the third segment. I do not think we have an hour counter, and that's for we'll just move on. I'll give back control to Toastmaster of the day.
Mr. General Evaluator, sorry for interruption, but we do have an accountant and grammarian, which is Michelle.
Oh, my bad. Okay. My bad there, man. So let me hand it back to our counter for the day, Toastmaster Michelle, to introduce and tell us a little more about her role.
Michelle, I'll make this easy. For this job as the counter, I want you to speak very slowly.
Okay, that is going to be more difficult for me than being a pirate, because normally my speed rate is much faster. Anyway, your counter for today's meeting will strive to capture so, or any repetitive use of words like, there's some common words that people may use that do not have any place in the statements, or repeated words like I just did when I said the. I'm about to fall asleep from my own pace, so I will hand control back to the general evaluator. Back to you.
Thank you, Man. Now let's go back to our English teacher. Or is it the English lady? I'm not too sure.
Ravi, could you tell us what you do at the end of the meeting? Thank you very much.
All right. There was some strictness from our teacher, right? I just wanted you to be able to see that. The strict English teacher. So as the general evaluator, towards the end of the meeting, I will present my report with all of my observations from the beginning through the end. And I'll share feedback on how is it that we can make our meetings better, so that our guests and our members keep coming again and again. And we have much more diversity in our meetings, just as we do right now. Back to you, Toastmaster Mary.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Splendidly done, Man. For the benefit of our guest Diane that just joined us, we're doing a special theme meeting today where we're practicing vocal variety. So we're trying to use different voices when we speak. We don't typically talk with all these crazy accents. So it's a fun meeting today, Diane. I hope you enjoy it. Now I'd like to have our evaluator give the objective of today's speech by Dr. Sherry Rafferty. Shilpa is our evaluator. Shilpa, do you have some objectives for Dr. Sherry's speech today? And could you tell that using a grumpy old man voice? Grumpy old man.
Toastmaster of the day, Mary, you want me to give the objectives of Dr. Sherry's speech? Oh, I'll do that if you want me to. The objectives of Sherry's speech today is storytelling. It is about bringing to life the story. Okay, how she overall expresses and conveys her message. I would take a minute off my eyes off the remote and concentrate on Sherry's speech. Over to you. That would be Dr. Sherry Rafferty presenting us the speech. Now it's your turn, Mary.
Well done, Shilpa, well done. Without further ado, please let me introduce our speaker. And may I say, after Shilpa gives her evaluation, Dr. Sherry has asked for each of us to pop in with a little suggestion how she could further improve her speech, because she will use this speech in a contest environment. So we're helping her get to be an even better speaker than she already is.
Pardon me, Madam Toastmaster, I apologize, but could we please shut off the recording? This is a speech that I cannot have recorded until after.
That concludes our prepared speech portion of the meeting. We turn our attention now to the impromptu portion of the meeting, titled Table Topics. To lead that portion, we have a table topic master. Her name is Sarah. Sarah, I'd like you to lead the table topics portion of our meeting using a Valley Girl type of speech, like, you know what I mean, oh wow, the 80s Valley Girl. Table topic master, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mary. Well, in this section, which is the most funny in our meeting, I will invite you to participate and not to be afraid. It's a great opportunity for you to participate and to learn how to structure a very good speech in a very short time. So let me know if you want to participate. If not, I will pick you. For the first one, I would like to ask our general evaluator, Ravi. Would you like to participate?
Sure, table topics, Master Sarah. But maybe first give our guests a chance at it, and then I'll take a part after that. How does that sound?
I want to start with someone with experience and then go to the guest.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. I will show you different characters, and then I just want you to take the role and with this participate. The first one will be a voice trainer. So as a coach trainer, Ravi, please give us suggestions of how to improve our vocal variety and also show us how to do it.
My first introduction to vocal variety was when one of my friends told me to watch sitcoms from the US and the UK. Until then, most of my talking was pretty flat. Only after I started watching sitcoms, and I think my favorite one is Seinfeld, is when I realized how it is that you can see somebody raise their voice so high or bring it down so low. Of course, they also use their hands and the rest of their body movements. I'm sitting down, so I can't show you that right now. And that was how I got introduced to the world of vocal variety. Not only that, I began observing people around me, not only in Toastmasters, but elsewhere as well. For example, at work, when my boss was angry, he would say, "What have you been up to, Ravi?" When my boss was very happy with me, he would say, "I really like the work you've done, Ravi." There are many other examples that I can give to you. Attend a Toastmasters meeting. Look at all the diversity that you find in there. You will come across, for example, in the Roseburg Club, plenty of people from all across the world. And it'll give you enough of an example of diversity and different vocal variety. Back to you, table topics master.
Thank you, Ravi. That was very inspiring. For the next one, I would like to ask one of our guests. Anne, would you like to take this one?
So I would just like to observe today. Yeah, I would just like to observe today.
Okay, great.
Thank
Then
you.
I will ask Michelle. Michelle, would you like to try this one? It's very late in the night. You want to sleep because you have a busy day tomorrow, but your neighbor is throwing a great party. Music, noise, everything. You have to go knock the door and speak with her or with him.
Thank you very much, Sarah. This is going to be not my usual. This will be a diversification of my usual approach. Because what I would do is if somebody is noisy or there's loud music and laughter, I would reach for my earplugs. I always have them, not right now because I'm in a Toastmasters meeting, but I usually have them in my purse. I would put on the ones they give on the plate, the earplugs that go right in. And then I would put on my usual sleep preparation and I would curl into bed, put the other pillow over my head, and guaranteed within less than a minute, or okay, maybe a little longer, I would be asleep. Because my brain listens to, or rather my body listens to my brain. When my brain says nap time or sleep time, regardless of whatever issues I may have faced during the day, hey, my brain, the boss, just said nap time or sleep time. I already start feeling very sleepy, very drowsy, and I feel in my mind the song of the Beatles, golden slumbers fill your eyes, awake, and I'm asleep. So that situation, if that ever occurred to me, I would just look over and say, oh, they're having fun. Very nice. What a diversity of guests they have. But for me, it's time to sleep and I will sleep. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Michelle. I could do the same. For the next one, I will call on Sherry. Would you like to participate in the next one?
Yes, please. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Mistress.
Your uncle is Doc Mac, is Rich McDuck, or I'm not sure about the name in English, but you want to ask him for something very special for you, an helicopter. So first you have to convince him to sell this idea of buying an helicopter for you and try to do it in his communication, in his kind of communication.
Madam Table Topic Mistress, may I just confirm if this is Daffy Duck?
I think so. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Uncle Screw.
Well, thank you for this. I need a help. After you. That's all. That's all, folks.
Thank you, Sherry. That was so great. Just as a duck. Perfect. Now let me call on Shilpa. Would you like to participate?
Sure, Sarah. I don't want to miss out on the fun.
There's a meeting between an elephant and an ant because the ant is very uncomfortable that the elephant is taking more place for his house and is not leaving the ant with some place. So please let us know how the conversation went between those two characters.
Move over, move over. Why should I? Move over, Mr. Elephant. But why? I am a tiny ant. Can you give me some space for my house? Move over. I would not. I should not. I'm a mighty elephant on my way. I will trample you. I will trample you all along the way. This land belongs to me. Oh, okay. I need to teach this elephant a lesson. You will not move over? Not by hook, not by crook. I will wave my big ears at you. I will not move over. The ant goes and bites the elephant. Ah! Oh, what did you do, little ant? I am moving, I'm shaking, I'm revolving. Did you get a lesson, Mr. Elephant? Can you make some place for my home? I can make some tea for you then. I can make some syrup for you then. Oh yes, my dear friend ant. You are so kind. You are so humble. Here is the land that you can consider as your own. Bring your friends, bring your relatives, bring your sisters along. We will live as a happy neighborhood. Don't forget my tea. Don't forget my syrup. After you, Sarah.
Thank you, Shilpa. That was a great lesson. For the next one, I would like Jasmine to participate. Can someone take over the time?
I was committedly timing so that Sarah won't pick me up, but it doesn't seem to work. Okay.
It's an easy one. You go and visit your grandma. She cannot hear very properly, and she's happy to see you, but you know she's a little bit old. So tell her about your weekend, but be careful that she understands everything.
Okay. So, Nani, I went running. I went running. And after running, I did some swimming. I was swimming. Nani, I went running. I went swimming. I had lots of fun. Lots of fun. Next time when I go, you come with me. You and me, we both will go next Sunday again to do the running. Nani will say, but I cannot run. I'm old. Nani, we go running. You cannot run. You sit and watch. Watch me running. I will swim and you watch, and we will take popcorns. So you eat popcorns and I run. Nanny, I eat popcorn and you run. Yes, yes. When? Sunday. Next Sunday. And Nani understands it so well, she's so excited to come eating popcorn when I run for the next Sunday. Thank you, and back to you, Sarah.
Great, Jasmine. I have only one left. Would you like to try, Mary?
Just worried about time. Okay, yes, I'll do it.
Okay, that's one. You are a great fan of soccer. You were waiting for this World Cup. And now that you have the tickets and everything, you discover your country is not in the World Cup. That's so sad for you, so sad. You have to tell your best friend now what you're gonna do, and now that you have the tickets.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I am so upset. I saved for months to buy these tickets to the soccer game. I was so looking forward to cheering on my team in person. But they lost and they didn't make it to the game. And now I'm stuck with these tickets. I could have gone on a trip. I could have maybe put a down payment on a new car. Instead, I'll be going to watch a soccer game for teams I don't even like. There's nobody I even want to cheer for. But they say life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So I think I'll start watching those teams and see if there's a player that I particularly like. Someone that just seems like a true sportsman. He's kind to the other players. He's always cheering on his team. And I'm going to choose a team that's playing that I'm going to see that has teammates that exuberate and exhibit that kind of diverse personalities on their team. And I'm going to go to that game. And I'm going to dress in that team's colors. And I'm going to cheer for that team, even though secretly I really wanted my home team to play. But at least I'll be among a lot of people having a fun time in a game that is such a fun, entertaining event. So that's what I'm going to do with my tickets to the soccer game. Back to you, Sarah.
Great decision, Mary. Thank you very much for these diverse table topics, for your participation, and I will hand over to Mary.
Thank you, Sarah, for that enlightening and fun table topics portion. Now comes the third section of our meeting, and that is the evaluation portion, where we give feedback to our speakers in how they did well and things they could do to improve.
Invite our grammarian, Toastmaster Michelle, to present her report.
Michelle, could you be the grammarian report as a very sleepy person, which I think might be very appropriate since it's very early where you are. A sleepy person.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the meeting. Yes, very, very appropriate. In fact, everybody got a pass on grammar usage. Well, almost everybody did, because I was still half asleep and I did not capture as many gems as I should have, much less areas for improvement. Nonetheless, there were such wonderful, really brilliant gems that my drowsiness I perked up from my drowsiness because of words like when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Or the phrase, a true sportsman, we don't see that often anymore. People are sports has become so commercialized. So I loved when you said a true sportsman. And the way that I think it was, and now I don't remember who said this, but an enlightening and fun portion. Enlightening and fun, combining them. That's a great juxtaposition of two very different words. My best chat, I like that. And I really like Shilpa's use of speech with a metaphor or an analogy with cupcakes, the different layers. I love that. And cherry on the top. So there were several great uses of the English language. I know we all use English differently, but there are certain words, certain phrases that can become a little hackneyed or cliche. And personally, it's just me, I guess, but I cringe when I hear without further ado, because just number one, it brings me back to Shakespeare's too much ado about nothing. And also, I always think if you are saying without further ado, then why was all of that mentioned before saying without further ado? So I would recommend, personally, it's not wrong grammar, it's just overused phrase. Now, also the use of plenty of people. I think plentiful is like fruits or vegetables, or maybe when we talk about people, we would say many people, not plenty of people. Several of us use slurred contractions like gonna, havda, wanna. Again, it's become very common, but if we want to practice correct English, we need to say I'm going to, or I have to, or I want to, rather than I wanna, gonna, have it, which I also do, and that's probably why I notice it. Overall, though, considering that we are a club with people from diverse cultures, diverse countries, and diverse languages, we all did a really good job. Back to you, Madam. Oh, Mr. General Evaluator. See, I'm really sleepy.
Fine. Now, again, we need to listen to Michelle provide the report about our counter. Please go ahead, Michelle. Make it quick.
Yes, I will make it very quick because I did not pick up. I'm sure there were, but I did not pick up any ahs or ums because I was
Michelle,
half
can I
asleep.
interrupt you?
Yes.
We have 10 minutes left and we have a guest, Diane, here. And if we can give her a table topics, because we have time, that would include her in the meeting.
Yes, surely it's up to the Toastmaster. But right now I realized I forgot an important part of my grammarian report. So I will steal time from the counter to report on the use of the word of the day. Diverse, diversify, diversification, or variations thereof. I think Sherry did use it at least twice, Ravi at least twice, Mary at least twice. I think Sarah at least once. Shilpa, I think you used it 3 or 4 times. Good job there. So back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right, I'm glad this time she made it quick. Now, let's go over to Yasmin. And I think once we're done with the timer report, we'll hand it over to our guest for a table topic. How does that sound, guys? Just so that I'm not bored out of my head, right? Let's finish all the reports, all the boring stuff. Let's get it out of the way. And then we'll invite Sarah over for a table topic for our guest. Yeah. Okay. Over to you, Yasmin.
Am I still a baby? Madam Toastmaster of the day, am I still a baby?
I'm sorry, Yasmin, why don't we do a different one for your timing report? Why don't we try just having you talk while you're chewing gum? So give your report chewing gum.
That's gonna be challenging. because I generally don't chew the chewing gum. But this was interesting because I'm going to chew your time and just say that everyone was on time, except Michelle, which was 3 minutes towards the end for her report. But I don't mind it at all, because anyway, we have 10 more minutes. So as long as we are not exceeding the meeting time, I think we are just making optimum use of the available time. And with this, just give me some time. I need to throw my chewing gum and I'll be back.
All right, Yasmin, thanks. That was a quick one. Definitely didn't get bored this time. Let me now take a step away and not present the general evaluators report yet. I'll call back our table topics master for the day, Toastmaster Sarah, and see if she's got another topic that she can share with us for our guest.
Sure, I can repeat one of the topics that we already did. Here it is. So Diane, you want to go to sleep, but you discover your neighbor is doing a great party. You are very, very angry, very mad because you have a busy day of work tomorrow. So you go and ask him to stop this party. How will you do that? Remember to use vocal variety.
Vocal variety. Oh my God, I want to sleep. What time is now? Do they know what time is this? Why they still partying at this time? It's time for me to sleep, to learn something, to take a note. I need concentration. Fellow Toastmaster, if you are in this situation when you are very introvert and you are shy and you are a quiet person, and then your neighbor, they have a party and you couldn't sleep, what should I do? Do you have any suggestion? Well, in Asian culture, we are very shy person. Sometimes we cannot talk with someone what we want. We try to bring the conversation round. But sometimes there is a moment when I lost my patience. And then I will face them directly. Please, you know, your world is not only belong to you. You have your neighbor, I have my family, I have my job, and we need a time of a sleep. Of course, I couldn't say like that directly to my neighbor, but I will try to bring this person to quiet place. Then I will remind them, please, if you cannot stop the party, at least you can minimize them. So we can have the solution. You can have the party and I can take my rest. So win-win solution is the best solution. I think that's all for my step. Back to you. That's what Sarah. Sorry everyone, I just coming. I thought the meeting just started. Maybe I was in different time zone.
Thank you, Diane. Great table topic. And back to you, General Evaluator Ravi.
Thank you, Table Topics Master Sarah. And I think now it is time for me to present my report. I'll try to do that as a very bored teenager, right? So this is one of those meetings. I've been attending too many of these of late, and you guys bored me to death today. I have to be honest with you. Well, actually, if it weren't for all of the vocal variety involved, I don't think it would have been as interesting as it was. What do you say to that, Man? From the beginning, I noted that we made sure that all our guests felt welcome. be it if they started and joined us before the meeting began or even during the meeting. We made sure all our guests were welcome. So that was really nice to see that. We also described to our guests what a typical Toastmasters meeting is all about. That was a good thing that we did that as well. The Toastmaster of the day was introduced pretty well by Toastmaster Yasmin, and then the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mary, also introduced the theme of the day very well. It was pretty interesting and pretty captivating, despite me trying to act as a bored teenager. I think I was, or as a person with a Jamaican accent, that was the only thing that I had trouble doing, is either try to speak with the accent or pay attention. So, I mean, it was really interesting from start to finish. I think the most takeaways and the things that I would want to share here is, I think as a general evaluator, I goofed up quite a bit. I think I missed out making sure that I invited other evaluators or other folks in the meeting to share feedback. So that was something that I missed out. And also a couple of times, I think I made a couple of mistakes. So those are points that I have noted myself, so that when I take up this role the next time, I'll keep those in mind. Other than that, I think it was great that we had amazing table topics. They were very much aligned to the theme of diversity. And I think it brought out a lot of emotions in all of us, especially the child in us, or the granny in us, or anything of that sort, the English teacher in us, if I may put it, or the English lady rather, if I may put it that way. So really good table topics as well, and in line with the theme. So that was wonderful. And that's about it. I loved the word of the day as well, that the grammarian had chosen. It was in line with the theme that we had. And I'm glad that it was simple enough that everybody could use it at least once throughout their speech. That's about it. Yes, back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mary.
Well, thank you, Ravi. One of the speeches I didn't get to voices was I actually had on my list to imitate Rocky Balboa from the Rocky movie. You know, Adrian. So I will finish up my meeting today like Rocky. You know, we walk up the steps. We started at the beginning and we continue to climb. We're now at the top. Dun, 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 dun. I hope you all enjoyed this meeting. I have to say, we had so many guests at the beginning and they dropped off and I felt so sad. So I don't know if this unusual meeting that we had today that I thought would be fun to do different voices, that maybe I scared the guests. I don't know. So Anne and Diane, thank you so much for staying. I know Diane came late, but you jumped right in and did a voice and had a fun time with tabletop. Well done. And Anne comes our first time on her birthday and stayed. So I'm so thankful for both of you. I hope you all enjoyed this meeting. We meet every Monday, so we'll be here next Monday, just an hour and 15 minutes before now, depending on what time zone you want. This concludes my job as the leader of the meeting. Like Rocky said, Adrian, back to you. We'll leave you, Jasmine, to close out the meeting. Thank you for this diverse group of people. Yasmin, bring us home.
Thank you very much, Mary. You have said it all. It's just going to take the taste of the flavor away from the meeting if I'm going to prolong it. So I just want to thank everyone who is here, and thank you indeed for bringing in this new theme. And with this, I would just adjourn the meeting for today. So